Well, good morning, all. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. Happy Halloween, which is next week, but the show is today. So, in keeping with my usual sort of spooky fare on my October show, this is the story today I have to share with you. I've already titled A Cautionary Tale. Because although it's not spooky in the sense of, ooh, ghosts, this is scary on a whole other level. I had such an egregiously horrible experience with a corporation recently that I'm telling you about it. Because I don't want anyone, well, except for about a bunch of politicians, but I don't want anyone else to experience what I did. It was so offensively terrible. All right, so having said all that, years ago, until 2020, I had Sprint phone service, cell phone service. And every 2 years, I could have a free phone. My choice of whatever they had in the store, because everything they had in the store was available, was there. I could choose from everything from a flip phone, we're not talking those fancy ones nowadays, but the kind your grandparents probably use, to flagship phones. How fantastic. We're talking free, we're not talking those crappy credit things where if you leave the service, you have to pay the rest of the phone off. That's not free. These are free. You can go to any other service if you wish, but Sprint was good and covered everywhere I wanted to go, including places in Vermont. The friends didn't have service, but I did with Sprint. Yay. T-Mobile bought Sprint and in 2020, and Sprint was shuttered. It's gone. With T-Mobile, even though they bought it and they were new to me, I was not considered a new customer. So when it came time for me to buy a phone, to get a phone with them, I had to pay for my doggone phone. Pay. This is the phone I got, my Samsung phone, and I wanted it for a couple of reasons. And you can watch my show on the equipment I have. And I talked a little bit about the phone and why I wanted this specific model. But as you can see, there is a big fat, maybe you can't see that. There's a big fat crack. Whoops, where'd you go? Down here. I'm sure you can, whoops, there you go. You can see it right there. Right down here. There's a big fat dent in the phone and a big fat crack. What you can't see are all the spider cracks as well from here. So I contacted the insurance people, and they got in my phone. They said, well, you have so many videos and photographs that's why you have to tap like this on your phone to open an app. And I was thinking when she said that, what I had on my phone was actually child's play compared to what I usually had on the phone. I never used to have an issue with that, but they refused to give me a new version of this phone. I wasn't asking for just a totally different phone. I wanted the same version I had. But no, And then their phone price, their plans went skyrocketed. So I was pretty much done with T-Mobile. So I started looking around for another cell phone company. AT&T and Verizon's prices are outlandish. They're worse than T-Mobile. And they have fewer plans to boot. So I was looking at prepaid plans. Mint Mobile has like this much gigabytes each month, and I used a lot more than a teeny bit. And I would have to prepay for like 3 months to get a decent deal on the price. They give you $15 a month if you prepay for, well, the deal I saw was actually 6 months. 6 months. If I didn't like the service, I'd be out the money and forced to use it. So that didn't work for me. But eventually I found Metro. Now, you may be thinking, oh, Metro PCS, and yes, you'd be correct, but T-Mobile bought it, so they changed the name to Metro by T-Mobile. I feel like I need to do that kind of thing. Now, their plans range from $25 a month to $60 a month. You get what you think you get with a $25 plan. You get phone service. You get phone service for $25 a month. So But they have a couple of plans that I was looking at, $50 and $60 a month. So $50 plan had 50 gigs of premium data per month. A decent amount. Not quite enough, but a decent amount. You know what else it had? Oh, I should mention, by the way, that there'll be moments during this show where I'm going to say, sit down and buckle up. And right now, sit down and buckle up. You know what else it included? Netflix and Apple TV. You know what else it included? This is the part that you might fall out of your chair. A free phone every single year. It's a 5-year price guarantee, so every year. The longer you wait, the better selection. But every year you can have a free phone. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? The $60 plan, let me tell you about that plan. That included 70 gigs. The most I've ever used is 80, but I tend to average about 50 to 60 gigs a month. So 70, a little bit of hedging on there, hedging my bet. It also included, and continue to sit down and buckle up. It included Amazon Prime, $14.99 a month. They paid a monthly thing, and I had just canceled my membership with Amazon Prime, so yay. It also included the free phone every single year, and again, if you waited a little longer, you would get better selection of phones. So I thought, this is fantastic. Now, when you sign up with Metro, they give you a free phone because, you're a new customer. So, hey, welcome, new customer. Existing customers with these other services, you don't get a free phone anymore. Well, it's at all. With Metro, not only as a new customer, I get a new phone, but an existing customer, I would still get a new phone. What is not to love about that? So, but the phone I had wanted online was no longer available. So I called them up on September 16. Keep that date in mind. That will make a difference here. And asked the guy I talked to, now, customer service rep, no doubt, but a salesman. And it was really fun to talk to someone who was really upbeat and fun and all that great stuff because, of course, he was a salesman. But he wasn't able to, that phone just wasn't available anymore. It was just gone. So he did say that he would find me a phone that had the things I wanted, a headphone jack and expandable storage. A decent camera also, because I film. And he found me one, a 2025 version. So I would get to have not only a new phone to me, but like a brand new phone, a 2025 phone. I wasn't looking for a high-end phone. I was looking for a mid-range phone, which is what I've had for years now, mid-range phones. So September 16, ordered the phone, gave him my address, paid the $65. Now, it's a $60 plan with, all the plans are whatever they're priced at, but that's with auto pay. And if you don't use auto pay where they take it out of your bank account, then it's going to be $5 more. So I paid $65, and they shipped the phone that day. At least I thought they did. I didn't get it on the 17th. I was expecting to get it because I'm used to getting things like that the next day, and you are too, I'm sure. Didn't get it on the 18th either. I didn't even get it on the 19th. I called them on the 19th. Well, before that, I was looking through my emails, and probably like you, I get a bazillion emails every day, and I don't look at it every day either. That's on me. And I realized, they sent me an email about the shipping piece, which they actually did ship on the 16th. When I opened it, you know what? Sit down and buckle up. They shipped it to a different address, a totally random address. That was certainly not mine and not what I told them. So when I called customer service, they had the utter gall to ask me, well, did you give us the right address? I did get indignant. I did raise my voice. That is, the adage of you catch more bees with honey than vinegar. Yeah. So the nicer you are to customer service people, the better. And quite frankly, the nicer you are to people, that is just better, period. But especially these folks, you want to have help you. But I did raise my voice and said, I've lived here 8.5 years. I know where I live. I never lived this other address. They didn't believe me once, ever, on any of the phone calls. And I'm going to tell you about one of these phone calls. But they shipped via UPS. And I don't know how UPS did it. Oh, but you know what they said? After I denied that I gave them the wrong address, they said, oh, well, you know, UPS determined that it was undeliverable, so they changed the address. I may go into a maniacal laugh if I don't stop. It's just so ludicrous. UPS knows my home. They deliver to me. But, okay, sure, whatever. I saw from UPS that they had the phone and they shipped it back. They started the process, shipping it back on the 19th. It was going to go to Texas, which is where it originated. When I had called, also when I called on the 19th, the customer service rep was kind of snippy, and she said to me, and I quote, "That phone better not be activated." And I said, "Well, it shouldn't have been shipped to the wrong address." Yeah, it was not a great call. Now, I called, so I was at home on October 1. I hadn't, so nothing had happened in the meantime. Whenever I called, they said they hadn't received it back. Okay, that's a long time, but okay. It's supposed to be 3-day shipping. So on October 1, I'm at home and I realize, oh, I don't have any service in the house, which was odd. But certainly at home, with T-Mobile, I didn't have 5G in the house that much. When I changed to a lower price plan, I just didn't have 5G that much anymore. So I didn't think too much about it. I thought maybe the service had gone out. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know. But it was the first time I'd ever experienced that. So I discovered I had no cell phone service and no texting ability either, which meant that I couldn't make calls or receive them. I couldn't send texts or receive them. That's a safety issue. So since I couldn't call from my phone, I went over to T-Mobile, which is about 2 miles from me, keeping in mind that they own Metro. They let me use their phone. He dialed the phone for me, and when he looked to see why I wasn't connected, he said, "Well, your phone number has been transferred." So what that means is, when I talked to the guy at Metro, for instance, this is true of any of the cell phone companies, they ask for your transfer pin. And then with the transfer pin, once they have that, they can transfer the phone, your phone number to their phone, which makes sense. On October 1 marked 2 weeks since I had received my phone, and their system automatically activated the phone I never received. So my phone number was on this other phone. There are a lot of problems with that, and wait till you hear what I had to deal with. So now, even though T-Mobile owns Metro, the T-Mobile in Vermont won't help me with the Metro stuff. I guess that's fair. So on all these other calls were on friends' phones. Okay, so kudos to all my friends who let me use their phones. Otherwise I was really stuck. It's not like I could email these people. I just couldn't. And for October 1, the October 1 call, the second call I made from T-Mobile, they told me I had to go to a Metro store in order to get my transfer pin back because, I didn't have it. And according to that customer service rep, there was no way they could see the entire account. And without seeing the entire account, I had to go to a Metro store to finish this transaction. Have you heard of anything as stupid as that too? I am absolutely floored by that. Do you know where the nearest Metro store is, by the way, in Vermont? There is none in Vermont. Do you want to know where the nearest one to me was? Are you sitting down and buckling up? Manchester, New Hampshire, a 3-hour drive. I'm sorry, that probably affected the microphone. A 3-hour drive, 3 hours one way. I asked a friend if she'd like to go on a road trip with me. I called again on October 5 because, you know, they said they couldn't process the refund until they got the phone back, and they still didn't have the phone back. I called again. I noticed the email to me from UPS that had the link showing where it was in delivering the phone, returning the phone to Metro, that there was an alternate link as well. So I clicked on that, and sure enough, do you know when when Metro received the phone back? You know the drill. Sit down, buckle up, don't drink anything because you might spit it out. Now, mind you, on October 1, I was told by Metro that they didn't have the phone. But you know when it was actually delivered? Scanned at the dock by Jorge Morales? September 22. That's when they had the phone back. It was September 22, and they denied it on October 1. They denied it for several times. They thought clearly I was lying. I said, well, this is the link, you know, that long string of numbers and letters. Oh, yeah, we did get it back. Mind-blowing stupid. So I talked to them multiple times about why can't we just do this over the phone? Why can't you just do it from there? But they denied that they had access to all of the customers. They access to all my stuff. So on October 14, my friend and I drove down to Manchester, New Hampshire, a 3-hour drive. Thankfully, it was we left at 10 in the morning. I didn't want to have rush hour traffic to deal with. So 10 in the morning, we headed down. Now, I should mention that I read the reviews of this store. You know what number they had on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being woo, and 1 being don't go there, ones. They had a lot of ones. Customer service is rude, they're nasty, they're worthless in the sense of their jobs. They're terrible at their jobs. There was a shining light guy, but everyone else, sucked. So I held out no hope. I was already feeling pretty hopeless about this whole thing because they were holding my phone number hostage is what they were doing. Because they had to prove who I was by calling the phone I didn't have. It would, they sent a text there, they'd call there. It's really awful, I have to say. So it took her, the woman I had she told me that it was going to be about 30 minutes. And I knew that actually because with a different friend who was using her phone, she wanted to know what the process was. She called the store in Manchester. They did not answer the phone. They're open till 6, and we were calling at the appropriate time. They did not answer the phone. She called a store in Maine. They didn't answer the phone. She called a store in New York. They did not answer the phone. She called a store in Florida, and they answered the phone. The 4th store out of 4. This Metro is apparently known for not answering the phone at these stores. Oh my gosh, I can't even. So that guy explained it would take about 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, and good luck. So at the store, it did take about 30 to 40 minutes. The woman was very nice. She wrote a bunch of stuff down. She wrote down, the PIN number and the transfer PIN number, 2 different PIN numbers, PIN number, transfer PIN number, my phone number, and which of course I knew my phone number, and she made sure to let me know that I had to call Metro and get the refund first before transferring my number to another service, or I wouldn't get the refund, which started a whole bunch of calls to Metro. They consistently said I couldn't have a refund. Now, what you want to know too is they have a policy that they will not refund the plan price. Solidly won't refund it. Now, I have 2 working theories around this whole debacle I've experienced. That I've read that they consistently ship to the wrong address. And I don't know, but my working theory is that T-Mobile customers who want to switch to the better price plans and a free phone may get this special treatment. But again, I don't know. As for the plan price, so any one of us who never received the phone would have paid for prepaid for the plan price. And if they don't refund the plan price, what a great deal that is for them, that they get to keep money. They get money for free, and we don't have a product. So, working theory. Not saying that's a fact. So, it got so bad that on the 18th of this month, and mind you, I still don't have a working phone. I don't have a phone number. It's on a hold up from phone. So on the 18th, I emailed the Attorney General's office. And I shared, in the email, I shared some of the information I've shared with you today. And they put that on their website, because when the woman emailed me, she told me that in the email, that they put up the information on their website. So you can go there, see the initial stuff I talked about. What the Attorney General's office can do is can email the company and say, hey, give her refund, with the understanding, of course, that the state has no ability to force them to give the money back. So on the 20th, I went to Chase Bank because I paid with my Chase credit card. And I wanted the timeline of when I paid, which was on September 16, and also the information of how much I paid for the gasoline in New Hampshire, $2.83 a gallon. Woo! And when I was there at Chase Bank, I was about to leave. I said, oh, what about, I explained the entire horrible thing. And I said, isn't there something Chase Bank can do? Yes, a dispute. And when I happened to be talking to the manager, when the manager heard the whole story, he said, yeah, let's do a dispute. So he wrote it up. 250 characters. Good for him to be able to fit this garbage all in 250 characters. And the best part of all, I got the money back, the $65 on my credit card. But if it hadn't been for the credit card company, I don't think I ever would have seen my money again. And it was that same day I went over to AT&T to find out about their prices, which are outlandish. I mean, they're just outlandish. And no free phone, of course. I went to Best Buy and went with Verizon. So I have a Verizon phone and the transfer pin and all stuff. So I still have my phone number of over 20 years. I had 2 friends who were actually sort of whining about having to change the phone number. It's not like they remember my phone number. Who remembers phone numbers anymore, right? Used to, don't have to anymore. So I have my phone number on this new phone with Verizon, because T-Mobile, as much as I'm doing 2 thumbs down, I'm thinking the 2-finger salute, which are faced another direction. So I would give Metro 2 million thumbs down. Really a horrible, dreadful, terrible experience. Terrible experience. I can't say anything good about them, except for the salesman. The salesman was really great. And actually, a lot of the customer service reps were lovely. When I was talking to one, and she knew it was a terrible experience, she actually gave me a second phone number of someone who could get the ball rolling before I went to the store. So, yes, all that. But for a company that's primarily online, why can't we do it all online? So anyway, this is the cautionary tale. Run the other way from Metro. Just, I mean, for those folks who actually get, yeah, this crap here. Metro by T-Mobile. Just awful. That was my horrible, scary, offensive thing. So I was without a phone from October 1 until, I thought it was the 21st, but it was actually the 20th. No phone. No way to call. Now, emergency calls, yes, will go through. But just calling or texting someone, it's amazing how much I missed that. You know, I was talking to one friend for almost an hour. We don't talk that long ever, really. But we got to share stuff over the phone. It was so refreshing to have the phone. But wow. For those who have had great service with Metro, I'm thrilled for you. But you couldn't pay me to go with Metro by T-Mobile. So really just appalling. Appalling all the way around. And they did hold my cell phone number hostage, really. And when I told that, oh, you'll love this too. When I was on the phone yet again, so they had this 3-question poll at the end of these calls. You know, did we solve your problem? Yes, no, partially. But the last question was my favorite one. On a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend Metro by T-Mobile to your friends and family? 10, yeah, baby, woo, I will happily tell everybody in the world. 0 was, are you out of your freaking mind? So 0 was the response. And, you know, it was pretty quick when they came up with, well, would you like to talk to someone right now about this? Maybe we can square it away. Or, you know, would you like to leave a message about this? So I just cleared the call, disconnected. But the second time, though, again, you know, when I was afterwards, and with the same question about woo or never, I put 0 again. And then I did actually click through to that customer service rep who was abundantly unhelpful and ultimately essentially used an air horn to make me hang up. God almighty. Wow, really. Driving down to New Hampshire was fun with my friend. We had lunch and then we headed home. So I didn't have to deal with any of that awful traffic. But, oh my gosh. So I hope that you enjoyed my tale today, this cautionary tale. Scary. It's scary to be without a phone in this day and age because who has a landline anymore? I gave mine up years ago. But here we are. But I do have a Verizon service, which is okay. The plan price is, you know, okay. Do I have any perks with that? No, I have a phone service is what I have. I paid for the phone that I have now, which was under $33. Kudos to that Best Buy salesman who got me the best price he could. So, Alex from Verizon, if you're watching this, 2 million thumbs up for you. But there's a children's book about someone having the awful, terrible, hideous day. So I may have outdone that child in that book. But if I were you, I would steer clear of Metro. And Metro by T-Mobile, if you're watching this, you know how I feel about you. T-Mobile as well? Yeah, dreadful. So I hope you have a better experience with any phone company you're doing business with. But now you know the experience I've had with Metro by T-Mobile. And wow, never again. Never again. it's really put me off of looking for any other service besides the top 3. But man. All right, on that blech sort of note, you don't have to sit down and buckle up anymore. I'm just going to say, this is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. Thank you so much for watching today. And until I see you again, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day and happy Halloween. Woohoo! Bye now.